Since the general registration of voters started last month, many eligible voters were turned away due to insufficient proof of residency in the local authority. The ECN was quoted in the local media blaming the chairperson of the Law Reform and Development Commission, Shangala, for the glitch. Shangala was careful in joining the blame game, building his argument both to the Constitution and the Electoral Act of 1992. The Constitution provides for people to prove residency in the local authority before they are allowed to register, but how they should prove it is the power given to the Electoral Commission under Section 130 as well as Section 16 of the Electoral Act of 1992.
No, they don't have to go anywhere for approval because, remember, Section 4, Sub 1 of the Electoral Act of Namibia says the Electoral Commission has the exclusive right to direct, supervise, and manage the election. It's them. Then they prescribed in terms of Section 130, read together with Section 16, 4D in this regard. So it's their prerogative.
He says late last year he wrote to the ECN asking if there was anything that needed his attention, and following this indication, the ECN responded by requesting for the removal of the proof of residency clause as contained in the Constitution. But Shangala rejected the request, arguing that the issue did not warrant the amendment to the Constitution.
This is not one of those instances where suddenly because you find difficulties, because it's inconvenient to you, as a body, an electoral management body, let's amend the Constitution. My view is we should go about and look at what other countries do and then maybe see if we can learn from them.
This year, Shangala then prepared 3 draft regulations which he communicated to the government and ECN to deal with not only the members of the Namibian Defence Force, police and students, but also with people living in informal settlements.
The difficulty I have is right now is why are we pointing fingers when there are solutions, and why don't we just get to dealing with the solution so we can afford people the right to register and to vote? Because as it is right now, I've got difficulties in understanding why, for instance, because I had asked the question, why are we registering people for, we know that only elections that will happen this year are national and presidential.
Citizens have the right to vote, and it's now the responsibility of those entrusted in running the elections to ensure that the prescriptions that are made do not go beyond the rights of people to vote. Tonateni Shidudu, NBC News, Windhoek.